and to maybe din was a Phoebe a sign and a Phoebe a sign and pa sign say and I know ya near the empire bonnie and Nigeria at the crossing over about 2025 na yakoda sorry ya na eja ato cantamanto baby a yidi dwa kese pa wo pa wo bibi ato wo benya bi ato no eja ato ho ama enya asem keto amanfo nso no kujem amanfo ani abre enam so ema nipa bi krampo ahwere omonkwa ewo ho ye di emu nsem ebebre mu sanso ena his excellency Nana ADDO Akufo-Addo okoma ne final state of the nation's address na efri na ekoidi ena obete fellow Ghanaians na chese ena de fellow Ghanaians no asi ye de emu nsem so ebebre mu eha DDT media DH across social media platforms Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram baby DDT media DH te besa na like na comment na ma share so Other for young boys. 2nd January 2025 year Iremu enche yana eja ato cantamanto enya asem ketwa amanfo stores baby amanfo didwa enya asem ketwa ehwahye ama amanfo ensu no egujem ejapade a ase wo ho enya asem ketwa ama enam so ama amanfo bi omu didwa so wo mpo ahwere omunko other for young hwe videos na etweku wo ne bi mrai bai betwa so
diachi by 5 o'clock yana me sorry it is a miss calls bebre me phone so can't I show Matiana. Now we have friend, Chese, Ampany Empire Bedru, Chese, bills here, and your mother. I see I shut up and you share petrol. And your dear Guana, she has a my bunker foka, too much money, dear Mashri Bebre, a bell one me da one and before ni belly. Say belly son, I'm so my main question by this time, the wine air frame. See me picking phone and I'm sister back. So what is the countess? And I'm sa, maintain. Inta ho popo na me pa atale bi hye se ne me ba behwe me dru ha ahania hye eja dem eso ha na so ha eja dem ye pese ye kokora kohwe se ebenya ye nioma ne bia untumi mbe eja ne kora nti ye nioma de ahye cho me nioma me base ye 18 na me pack me stock school bag egu ho me school bag egu ha ye 400 million and the go because you be a school. To me, customers I me packing school bags from mom at the core villages. To my pack a go. To me, the normal friend me say Jatom, no cranium mean to me, yammy hoshe. Me base actually 18 base, but I 4,000. But I 4,000. 18 and ashe. Plus me school bag, I'm packing me school bag and menton. Me one me de mom, until me be a school, and I'm a che, I'm all beer. Many na she ba kokra menya
na me waka sisi ane say aye amacho ya medawo na me hu say amofrefam me ba ne ten say omofrefam mu na kire say kanta ina she me so aya na me wo ayende ache yie pa eno say djuma we na ma me aye sa na da hwe me school na me wie na me so abeka me ma me wona me so me ma me wa me so me wo shop wa say me na madamfo so omofrem na me buy no ya shop onyina Odo can't to me she there a share half can't me buy and ache can't to me share say na way there a book adjoining to assess
and watch ye ne ne oni amansa din kita ho ema
intino around 118 and your officers enya you be a friend station outlook ahomachi station outlook ni say ebia your station na ye hu say wo sie bi firi bi na ya yitu anamon inti station e wo makola eno mutu anamon ahomachi ehun se eje bi hye obebi nti omo kona ansa na obi di moto eba station no se eja ato ha se nti intemporana na echumika ebae na yebedu ye ni hun se eja no enya sem kitwa no ye din nti enko wi echi no mo frefre support no na eji se fire tenders bako 13 na ebota ni se wo ni ahye no enshin kobade aka no ene ye mbo ho ban nti ebomodin se yebe ejuma yie na yetimi abo eho
Other for videos we in a etwagu na ensem no emu worem kakra ebi ahyase e de sobo ebo NPP for ebi de sobo ebo NDC for ebi se jama obi na ehye na wakoja peace na ato honom ene nam so ama eja tom allegations bebre na amanfo ema yenkoti amanfo so adwenkyere mrai bai beto so.
Oh, there are more people there, so when you get there, okay. I
Baba na baba bra. Na nema mu bo ha nya nema ketwa. Hwe. Nyina ada na mu nipa bone fosa. Bibini adwum tia bro. Ma yi nema.
Ye adwuma wa sei.
Ye adwuma.
Den na na uton.
Uton gestra. E ma ne me ma de ne nkwala e wa ha. Bishop me mi akuni.
Na sika bes say na watching wo.
Sika de meti mo di o. Sika de ni ma no because ye force adwuma ye no. Ye ni me sika no. De bia bi wurem. De bia because adwuma ye no ye nton ne ma ene ma se ntu. So what I say? Ye nton ne ma e ma se ntu. Sika de meti mi enka.
When last now go find you, my baby.
The last time, I never me find say me go 5. Store name I can't find. And 1.5 billion out of store once. Store once, a mass side pocket. And then for 1.5, you are making. Good be honest. That's what I'm making. And the name is good dear. First base and good dear. And baby. Comment is not. First base no can. And now 5,500. Men once 5,500. And then market and the transfer. Obi ni sami. The cast sami can transfer. Cost to anima. Obi ni minima. Ami bebe. A man name and man name. Yeah, Yatlin.
What's your first name?
The friend is Samuel. Samuel Ahempa. That's it. Yes, I'm getting.
Odofo we ne amanfo adwenkyere efa eja ato e wo kantamanto no na emu orem emu oja emu oya nso mekonim se ebi mu akobo besia no mu di dwa se ye omu ankasa sika enne kora kwosha ase kwosha abrabo na se e wo hefa ama emu ayede pa se wodi wani ekobiem e wo Accra Central enya asem petwenim se kantamanto de nema hodo na eton no e wo kantamanto dwombo na se na akoba ne se ya na kyerese amanfo nso no egudwompa omo nema assess ni nyina no yamma omunyina shedding ebi so ka say yeto abawie say ya na akoye say every year bia from 2020 yeto abawie bia na e wo say eja etimi eto kantamanto enti sabre de ye hwe de ebefiri mu aba na eno na cheda akopie ho akodonate sika 50,000 Ghana cedis say ono so e dey support e dey say bia to just say empenifo hwe no mo support kantamanto ma no anase kantamanto omo ho aka no say de be ya ombesan so etimi agina wona aso biem yakwohwe ensema na asare bedi akon ayi trinity afre ne cheda ana ne din e dey cheda ne koti ensema o kan ne brai bai beto aso
Me pese mo be frɛ na
same way and a cheddar a day a true jar efa eja hihia ahye e wo kantamanto Accra Central no enso odofo na ye to ayensem so no enne na His Excellency Nana ADDO Ekufuado o man a fana State of the Nations address fellow Ghanaians enti efri enne ekoi ebia obeti fellow Ghanaians no address issue bi oni fia na say bia yenim say President elect John Dramani Mahama so eba be kan fellow Ghanaians na enne e wabra na one the vice His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia omodu omani Echere Parliament House na omakokin on the State of the Nations address every time na omokon the Bible to us.
President is the king.
Yes.
The lawgiver is the speaker.
Yes.
The judge is the CJ.
Exactly.
So we have 3.
Yes, 3.
Wonderful. Now, what's going on here?
So this is the procession led by clerks at table. You see the deputy clerk, what do you call it? Camilo Kwamande.
So the man in
this is the new clerk of Parliament,
clerk.
Ebenezer Jetro, followed by the Speaker of Parliament, who is the head of the institution.
He's in white?
Yeah, he's in white.
Followed by
the Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Bawumia. And then you should expect to see the President follow soon. So these are the traditional...
so the Vice President
yes.
with some accompanying... The
exactly.
President is then...
Yeah, so you see the state sword,
okay.
Which normally would accompany institutional, what do you call it?
Then the IGP is behind the president. Yes. I believe the Chief of Defense Staff. So the service chiefs are working behind the president.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you have the Fonton from Dram now.
To welcome.
Exactly.
So we've mixed the British system with their gowns with our Fonton from.
Exactly.
So it's, and of course, Speaker Babin has also changed the attire, where in the past...
he decolonized.
Yes, so in the past, the speakers would wear dress like judges, but he's decided that he would wear what he wants. So today he's dressed like a typical African big man with wearing his agbada with his white. So he will call the house to order,
yes.
but I believe there's going to be a prayer. So we will be crossing over for the sound from Parliament shortly, as soon as the speaker calls the house to order. But the president, will the president greet people before he sits?
No, so normally the greeting is done after after the ceremony, because that would then, the house will be called to order, then he would deliver his address, after which then he will move on to greet the people, acknowledge cheers here and there, and then he would leave the chamber.
So he's greeted the Chief Justice, and then he would assume his seat.
Yes.
So let's cross over to hear what's going on now.
Order for eno ena etwa eguo no na eno so no yanto aso His Excellency Nana ADDO Akufo-Addo e de ensem bi etudwa efa eja hyehye na ekoso e wo cantamanto no eso wo se ye ne ya chese ne wura etini akọ esan eja ahye e wo cantamanto ye hwe ensem a Nana ADDO Akufo-Addo His Excellency wo de tudwa ne ba beto aso.
I want to put on record that I am deeply saddened by the devastating fire at Cantamanto Market, which took place yesterday, and has left many traders and their livelihoods in ruins. My thoughts and prayers are with those affected, and I extend heartfelt sympathies to the hard-working traders who have lost their goods and investments. Government stands with you and will work with relevant agencies to ascertain the causes of the fire and to provide the needed support. As a nation, let us unite in compassion and solidarity to help those who have suffered losses. Together, we can extend a helping hand to our fellow Ghanaians in need during this challenging time.
Order for ensem way and His Excellency Nana ADDO Akufo-Addo edi tudwa. His Excellency Nana ADDO Akufo-Addo say, send ye amount for person omo ye ne ka se Ghana broke, Ghana ye broke, Ghana enye broke. Ghana ye broke. It is a course so you come there. Order for video the right better answer.
Mr. Speaker, the country is not broke. As some propagandists want us to believe. We're handing over the country with gross international reserves of almost $8 billion United States dollars. This is more than the $6.2 billion United States dollars of gross international reserves my administration inherited in 2017.
For ensem way and His Excellency Nana ADDO Akufo-Addo edi etuja na ewabra na State of the Nation's address operate all my presentations nana the bodyguide which na chi etwahwe yenim say stress you say your obro or the franco video no emra by betwas
Delivery. Additionally, the implementation of the e-justice system has digitized case management and streamlined processes, solidifying the judicial's role as a bulwark of Ghana's democracy and development. Moreover, the Law House, a modern facility for the Office of the Attorney General, has now been completed. Mr. Speaker,
akosha balinti baby and the bodyguard will be wishing a speedy recovery. His Excellency Nana ADDO Akufo-Addo assigned to be a say oba yeno. Schools there wa share ama schools. Bano adisunya mu nsemu dia wa hwe atoto bibia kama yango hwe wa bra wode nseme so eto janmrai bai beto aso.
There can be no such arguments about the introduction of the free SHS and free TVET programs. Another policy that did not have universal approval when I sought to introduce it on coming into office. However, I believe this is one of the rare occasions on which we can use the word transformational without any danger of abusing the word. We have transformed education, and there can never be a reversal, of the fact that some 5.7 million young people have gained access to secondary education who would otherwise not have had the opportunity but for free SHS and free TVET. Indeed, my administration has also prioritized technical and vocational education and training, TVET, establishing 34 new TVET institutions and upgrading 62 existing ones to equip our youth with 21st century skills. Mr. Speaker, I'm proud that we were brave enough to have started the free SHS policy at the beginning of my first term and resisted the calls for a gradual introduction. I'm glad that we've removed from the Ghanaian mindset the belief that secondary school education is only for people from certain households and families. From 2020, when the first cohort of free senior high school candidates sat for the WACC, Ghana has consistently recorded over 50% of candidates scoring A1 to C6 in all 4 core subjects. This marks a stark improvement compared to the years prior, particularly the period when pass rates in core subjects were largely below 50%.
Samson His Excellency Nana ADDO Akufo-Addo de sendi atudwa se oba ye no galamsey kon no de obekun bi pa na ko a obekun galamsey kon no kra e ka ho bi ene ma afi 2024 NPP 4 etmidi ikuku ensem say ena wokai.
In my inaugural speech at my swearing in my first term on 7th January 2017 and early on in that term, I made a public commitment to tackle galamsey, the phenomenon that had been ravaging our environment and destroying our lands and water bodies in the pursuit of mining our gold. I knew and was very much aware that fighting galamsey was not a universally popular position for a president to take. But I felt strongly enough about the need to protect our environment to say I was prepared to put my presidency on the line in the defense of our lands and water bodies. And indeed, Mr. Speaker, the fight against galamsey led directly to the loss by my party of several parliamentary seats in the 2020 elections, and to the makeup of this 8th Parliament, which affected the implementation of my policy agenda and impacted the second term of my presidency. I welcome the many loud converts to the fight against galamsey that suddenly appeared in the run-up to the 2024 elections. And I pray that more and more of us get to embrace the need for the protection of our lands and water bodies. As I have stated on numerous occasions, the fight against galamsey is not a fight against mining or the extraction of the gold the Almighty has so generously endowed us with. But we owe it to future generations of Ghanaians.
And I'm quoting Exodus chapter 14, verse 13. And I quote, "And Moses said unto the people, Fear you not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show you today. For the Egyptians whom you have seen today, You shall see them no more. Bye-bye, Mr. President. It is finished. With that, Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much.
Order for in same way and order to international say His Excellency Nana ADDO the final State of the Nation's address. International say by the 7th of December 2025. Naturally say yes, swear in President-elect John Dramani Mahama no by the President of Ghana. And they say the Abenya no ono netiswa. So what dear pa ne say or dear echo. Intini na no one Ghana na ena ye na ye order for me try me have me buy it also. Other for me that's say what Jebre atwem na make I will say we yare now do we yare chinia na say wa bra for ni chire dua so dua herbal center wa ko di bronya wa ko chile wa ko jimoni brana doctor Ohiribo for enye instant healing ma na chire so body no bibia emba back to factory settings as say dua so dua herbal center so do we yare do hono ma e pick and crime for numbers left dua so dua herbal center as say only death has no solution yakram.
Eti weye dia sudia herbal center eba no huhum ya dia pa hey dia sudia dia se gbetua odu dru ho a wode haban gu kom ya dia bi woni padwene bia haban be yi dia free padwanem eye dia sudia herbal center eye instant healing ukọ ya na woju ayaresa enye se konomadro bia ni weye dia sudia herbal center. Dr. Ohiribo Ofori, fantastic doctor. Dr. Ohiribo Ofori, fantastic. What I say, bueno, if you fear, and a dear channel, there's no cosio. When you dear should dear, or tear her buying, Sabia will go to dinner, ya, or they have buying book to dinner, so no cotogenic cabo most of you fretto. What I say, wait, you feel to me, I tire by it. What I say, tea, me pacho, said, yeah, baby in the air call. Aye, Dia Herbal Center. Dia